When I need some good kosher food, there's only 3 words I need to know. Feed me, Bubbe.
Today we're going to make Tzimis, and I'm going to make a Tzimis meat casserole. And that which is used as a main dish, it can also be used as a side dish when you're making it just vegetables. And it consists of sweet potatoes, carrots, dried fruits, and the vegetable carrots and so forth. It's delicious and it's got a sweet taste. And I have found that there are no 2 Tzimis alike. Everyone makes it different. But I finally adopted my recipe several years ago when we were on vacation at the Caption Mountains, which is in upstate New York. And I don't know if you're familiar with the names Grossinger's and Concord. And years ago, it was called the Borscht Belt. And years ago, if an entertainer passed entertaining up there, he was on the road to success. And let's begin now. I hope you'll enjoy my Tzimis. All right, first I'm going to cut the sweet potatoes. Oh, and if we only use a medium-sized sweet potato, but if it's hard for you to peel and cut, you can put it in some water, boil it for 10 minutes, and then peel it. And I like to make the sweet potatoes in chunks. And I've gotten these ready. And next is the carrots. And carrots, this is the size, about 3/4 of an inch for each one. Now what I like to do, make it easy, if you have wider carrots, I try to cut it in thirds, which makes it a lot easier. Then take it and cut it again in half. And then it's easy to cut. Then it's very easy to cut it in thirds. I'm sorry, about 3/4 of an inch. If they're like the end here, well, just cut it so that they'll all be basically almost even. And I like to make it on top of the stove, which is much more simpler than starting on the stove and then putting it in the oven. And if you use a Dutch oven, or I have what they call the old-fashioned club aluminum, a heavy pot to start. The first thing we're going to do is add the oil and then the meat and the onions so that they'll brown and saute a little bit, and then we'll do the following steps after that. First, I'm going to put vegetable oil, 1 tablespoon, in the hot saucepan. And then I'm going to add my meat so that it'll, as soon as it gets the color. And the onions. Stir it around until the meat moves its color, and then little by little we'll add the other ingredients. And now it's turned color, it's sealed the meat, and I add 2 cups of water. It's similar to you making a regular stew, but of course the flavors are different. This is sweet, like a sweet and sour flavor. Bring it to a boil. And then, when it boils, put the cover on, and it has to cook for about 1.5 hours because it's the meat and it's stew beef, and it takes long. The thing with this is that it's a recipe that has to cook a long time so that it will develop the flavors and also make it taste good. And stew meat does take long, and it's not fat meat, so it's a very healthy meal. And carrots and sweet potatoes have a lot of vitamin A. It's good for the complexion, so it's a healthy recipe. 1.5 hours has gone by, and it's a slow process, but this is the way it is to make it taste good. And now I'm going to add my vegetables and my dried fruit. My sweet potatoes and carrots. Just give it a little stir so that it'll blend in. And also my dried fruit, because they need cooking time, and it helps the flavor. It isn't difficult, it's just time. It'll take time consuming. Bring it back to a boil. And then when it starts to boil, put the cover on, bring it down to low, about simmer, and let it stay for another half hour so that the vegetables will start, and then we'll add the other ingredients. I'm going to take the cover off and add the final ingredients, and then it'll finally be done. Like I said, it's delicious. It's a little time consuming, and on the stove you won't have to bother putting it in the oven or whatever. I've added the lemon and the spices. Give it a stir so that it'll mix. Make sure to put the honey in with the spices. The honey is what gives it the sweetness, and this is why the Tzimis is used for, especially for Rosh Hashanah, so that we all would have a sweet and healthy year, a fulfilled year. Give it a little stir and give it a chance. And add the orange juice. Make sure you have enough liquid in it. It should have enough liquid to almost cover. Put the cover back on, put it on simmer, on low, and let it stay for another hour and a half. The total cooking time has to be 3 hours, and a slow cooking, and that's what enhances the flavors and makes a good Tzimis. I'm going to, now it's the finale, and it's cooked. You have to taste it. Taste it a little to see if it has the taste that you like, the sweet and sour taste, the honey and lemon. If you think you like a little sweet, add a little more honey. It should do that. Or if worst, a little bit more lemon. You'll have to be the judge. You have to remember too that the longer it stays, the flavors will enhance each other. And the last and final step is a 1/4 cup of water, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. And just stir this, and the reason we use this is to thicken up the gravy. It should be like regular gravy. It makes it so it'll be like a cream. And add it in, and then stir it, and so that it'll blend all the way through the liquid. Put your cover back on. Bring it up to a little high so that the cold water will boil. You have to mix the cornstarch with cold water. Make sure it's cold. Put your cover on and leave it on for another 10 to 15 minutes so it'll get a little thick. And there's your Tzimis.
And now it's time for the Yiddish word of the day. Bubby, what's today's Yiddish word?
Mensch. Be a mensch. It means be an honorable, decent person. A decent human being.
That's actually a really good word. It kind of shocked me, actually. I think that's the best Yiddish word we've used so far.
Yeah, well, it's an important word for all of us, all over the world. Be a mensch.
Hey, I gotta mention to you, we actually had a winner from the AOL video contest that we had.
Really? Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
Lily from Rhode Island is our winner.
Oh, wonderful. Congratulations, Lily.
Congratulations, Lily, and we'll have other contests in the future, so make sure to just keep watching, and thank you so much for everybody that's watched so far. We've been having a blast.
Yes, and now let me go back and plate my Tzimis for you.
We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Katie from Podcast Salad, and you're watching Feed Me Bubby. Send me some cookies, Bubby.
And this is our main entree, the Tzimis with meat, and the vegetarian one will be on our website, so you can choose either one. Oh, one important thing, don't freeze Tzimis because it'll become mushy. It'll stay in the refrigerator for 3 or 4 days. Enjoy Esgesundheit.
Bei mir hast du geen, bei mir bist du daier erfungel, von schöne Mädelech, ob ihr gesehen, a Sach, ob wie die keimon, ob ich nicht gehört. Bei mir bist du schön, bei mir hast du geen, bei mir bist du eine auf der Welt.
Hi, Bubby. This is Barbara from Palm Desert, California. I love your show, and your recipes take me back to the days of my mother when she used to cook that way. Everything was so geschmack. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Von schöne Mädelech, ob ich gesehen a Sach, aber wie die kein Moll, ob ich nicht gejagt. Bei mir bist du schön, bei mir hast du kein, bei mir bist du eine auf der Welt.
This podcast is part of the Blueberry Network, where listeners and podcasters come together.
Blueberry.com.